If you want to purchase any of the longevity products or join the Brightside Ben team, call 866-735-2470. They can give you the scoop. You can also click on the Join the Team link on the upper left-hand corner of the page at brightsideben.com. We also have a shopping cart up that you can pull down if you want to purchase any of the longevity products. And I also want to encourage you to check out my blog, pharmacistben.com, which we update regularly with news stories as well as blog posts. You can also purchase products off blog at pharmacistben.com. Thank you to Robert Lundgren, who does such a great job on my website. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate you very much. Let's see what else. All right, we're going to continue. Well, let me just say a couple more things here about connective tissue, and then we'll talk about cysteine, which is, super, super important amino acid, especially when it comes to building glutathione, the body's most important detoxifying, cancer-fighting substance. Let's see, cysteine. Connective tissue. You want to build connective tissue by focusing on digestive health, by using protein, the glucogel caps, vitamin C, essential fatty acids, and don't forget about your weight-bearing exercises and stretching as well. Tightness is a connective tissue problem. Tightness can occur after some kind of trauma or just over the course of time. There was a guy named Dr. Wilhelm Reich and another guy named Dr. Alexander Lowen, who was Dr. Reich's protege, and Dr. Reich and Dr. Lowen have came up with a system of health and healing that involves connective tissue. It was called bioenergetics. You can Google bioenergetics. There's a couple. Dr. Lowen has a bunch of books out. So does Dr. Reich, actually. But my favorite is just simply called bioenergetics. It talks about how we develop hardness in our connective tissue and stiffness in our connective tissue over time. Microscopic contractions in the connective tissue result in this overall stiffness and hardening. The connective tissue is very dependent on flexibility and range of motion. The connective tissue is where blood is flowing through and toxins are flowing out of. When the connective tissue becomes stiff, blood doesn't flow to the organs and the cells as well. Cells are not detoxified as well. So hardening of the connective tissue can be a big problem. Hardening of the connective tissue can present us with lymphatic problems, oxygenation problems. Both the lymph and oxygen, as well as nutrients, require a free-flowing connective tissue matrix, and stiffness can impair movement and ultimately can cause autoimmune problems as well as degenerative disease and an accelerated demise. In fact, it's not inaccurate to say that the hallmark sign of the aging process is connective tissue hardening and connective tissue breakdown. So stretching can be super helpful. So can Pilates. Yoga is another interesting physical therapy for keeping connective tissue healthy. In India, they've known for thousands of years about the importance of keeping connective tissue flexible and loose, and yoga has been an important part of Indian daily life for thousands of years. Here in this country, yoga is an important daily life for many thousands, many millions of Americans. The Indians, not American Indians, Indians developed a whole science around yoga, and they based their spiritual life and physical life on the principle that keeping connective tissue flexible can be an important part of all the dimensions of health. They recognized that keeping connective tissue flexible and limber was an important strategy for keeping the body healthy, for keeping the soul healthy, for keeping the mind healthy. When the first yogis came from India to the West in the 1930s and 1940s, everyone made fun of them. They were made into a caricature, but as it turns out, those yogis knew exactly what they were doing. So Ashtanga yoga, Iyengar yoga, Bikram yoga, any of these body yogas can be a wonderful way to keep connective tissue loose and limber, improve detoxification through the connective tissue, improve muscle function, as well as improve overall health and reduce the signs of accelerated aging. All right, I think that's all I'm going to say about connective tissue. There's tons more we could talk about, actually. Connective tissue disease, mixed connective tissue disease is a serious problem. Lupus, scleroderma, autoimmune diseases. But I think in the interest of time, we'll just move on to our next subject, which is the amino acid cysteine. Cysteine, which is an important building block in glutathione. It's an important part of the detox system. It is an important part of the structure of the body as well. And later on, probably tomorrow or the next day, we're going to talk about my all-time favorite nutritional supplement, one that I've been discussing for many years. You can use it topically. You can use it internally. It's probably the most important most important detoxification substance for folks who are drinking alcohol. You can use this detox supplement to prevent a hangover if you take enough of it before you go out drinking and after you go out drinking. And it all involves cysteine. We'll talk about that here in the next couple of days. So cysteine, it's part of our glutathione molecule. In addition to glutamine, which we've talked about before, we'll talk about the third component of the glutathione molecule as well. Cysteine contributes a certain hardness and strength to collagen. It acts like a little rivet that nails the threads of collagen together. It may be the most important, it is probably the most important hardening protein in the hardening amino acid in the body. Horns, as we've said, and hooves and feathers and scales. Wherever you see hardness in nature, even silk thread, which has a certain hardness to it, all depends on this amino acid cysteine. Collagen, as we said, is a type of biological rope or twine. In the same way twine is made up of smaller threads that wrap around each other, collagen likewise is made up of smaller fibers that are wrapped around each other, and that alone will give collagen a certain flexibility and strength. But then you add a little molecule of cysteine. It's inserted between the collagen threads, and this little molecule of cysteine kind of bolts the threads together like a rivet. And the riveting effect gives collagen its hardness. Actually, this riveting effect occurs in other proteins as well. And this is how cysteine acts to harden the surfaces of the skin and the hair and the nails. Cysteine is the most reactive of all of the amino acids. It has a magnetic component, which is the result of a strategically placed sulfur atom. We spent a lot of time a couple of months ago talking about the magnetic properties of sulfur, the electromagnetic properties of sulfur, and sulfur's electromagnetism is why it is such an important detox element. And indeed, cysteine gets its detox properties because it has a little element of sulfur. Sulfur also has a hardening property, and this hardening property is like its detox property is the result of its electromagnetic properties, and cysteine gets its hardening properties from its little atom of sulfur. So this magnetic sulfur makes cysteine bonds very hard to break. It makes it a perfect hardening amino acid for the skin, for hooves, for nails, for scales, for feathers. All hard external surfaces found in nature depend on cysteine, which in turn depends on sulfur for the hard texture. And then there's hair care. In the hair care world, stylists can make use of cysteine in shampoos. If you've ever seen wheat protein in a shampoo product, shampoo manufacturers love using wheat protein. Wheat is a wonderful source of cysteine. So using wheat extracts or wheat protein or wheat kinds of ingredients in shampoos can help make hair healthier. There's actually a product called the Brazilian Blowout, which a lot of women know about. A lot of women with ethnic hair know about it. The Brazilian Blowout is basically a hair straightening treatment that takes advantage of the hardening properties of cysteine. And we'll tell you what we mean when we continue our discussion on this very important amino acid, hardening, detoxifying, high-protein amino acid, cysteine, on our next Brightside episode. We're coming back with your phone calls. 855-660-4261 is our number. Don't go away. Got more good health information for you coming up right after this.
Did you know that organic sulfur can cleanse and defend your body against the poisons we're exposed to each day? Organic sulfur crystals from SulfurDefense.com help by forcing oxygen and nutrition into your cells while eliminating heavy metals, contaminants, and damaging radiation. Defend yourself and family from toxic assault with one of the most critical and essential minerals available today. Order online at SulfurDefense.com. That's SulfurDefense.com. Or call 800-593-6273.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. If you'd like to listen to GCN programs on the go, I have great news. GCN has created a Droid and iPhone application, and it's free. Just as easy as going to GCNlive.com, click on the banner, and download. Before you know it, you'll be listening to your favorite hard-hitting GCN shows, live or on demand, right on your Droid or iPhone, 24/7 and on the go. So download the Droid and iPhone app free by clicking on the banner at GCNlive.com. Thanks again for listening to GCNlive.com. Again, that's GCNlive.com.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right. General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for under $30,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet under $30,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Take delivery in spring. 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
It's time for a home security quiz. What effective home security device is smaller than a coffee cup, fakes out burglars into thinking someone is home at your house while you're away, plugs into any wall outlet, is recommended by many police departments, and sells for less than $30? Yes, it's Fake TV. This year, about 1 in every 50 U.S. homes will have a break-in, with burglars usually picking the easy target, a dark house that looks like no one is home. Fake TV is a small electronic security device that makes it look like someone is home watching TV by simulating the light from a real TV. Fake TV could be the difference between coming home to a secure house or one that's been ransacked. To get your Fake TV for only $29.95 with free shipping, go to faketv.com or call 1-877-5-FAKE-TV. That's 877-532-5388. Or go to faketv.com. Fake TV, the burglar deterrent.
Great news, pure water lovers. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has a special discount offer for all GCN listeners. You can't do better than a Big Berkey for economy. For only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. There's none better than a Big Berkey for emergency preparedness as a backup water source. And you just can't beat a Big Berkey to remove dangerous chlorine, all types of fluoride, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, parasites, and unhealthy byproducts from municipal water. Berkey water filter systems are even powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. For the gold standard in water filters, get a Big Berkey at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And all GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. For details, call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Not just an alternative to the mainstream media. We're the premier independent talk radio network. We are GCN.
All right, welcome back to the Brightside. I am Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for being here, friends. Time to hit our phones. 855-660-4261 is our number. Rose, what is up? Good morning and welcome to the Brightside.
Morning, Ben. We love you.
Thank you.
Say we appreciate giving yourself, and educating us.
Thank you, Rose. I appreciate
that. Thank you. I was going to ask you, I know that Steve called the other day, but I'm having an issue with my youngest son. He has this dry skin. I have been giving him the mighty 90s.
How old's your son, Rose?
Huh?
How old is he?
He's almost 18. He's 17, almost 18.
Oh, okay, well, he's a little young to start experiencing dry skin, but dry skin is a very, very common problem. Here's the thing about dry skin. No human skin is ever supposed to be dry. Yet we know that most people have dry skin. And what that means is that most of us are not biologically or biochemically as healthy as we should be. Why is this important? Well, it's important because so many times we consider skin issues to be cosmetic problems. We consider them to be superficial problems, and we miss a golden opportunity to address underlying health issues and use our skin as a barometer or as a diagnostic tool. So, in other words, as your dry skin improves, you'll know you're on the right track to correcting your biochemical imbalances. And if your dry skin doesn't improve or if your dry skin gets worse, you know that your biochemical imbalances are getting worse, leading you down the road to worse problems as time goes on. So dry skin may be just unpleasant or superficial or cosmetic, but it's an indicator that something's going wrong that could